This question comes from Roberto in Lawrenceville, Georgia. I'm a high school senior in Atlanta who has been enthralled with your views on American economic policies and the corruptness of the federal government in managing monetary policy. Since I've heard a lot of horror stories about going to college, should I even bother going at all? I really want to expand my intellectualism and humanistic well-being and simultaneously become a well-rounded cartoonist. If you do recommend college, should I go to a state or private university?
Well, to answer your question, you can become an educated, well-rounded person without ever stepping foot in a college. There's all sorts of things that you can read. Obviously, the internet now makes it so much easier to read and learn on your own, and there are all sorts of courses you can take on the internet and seminars and things that really don't cost very much money. If you want to be a cartoonist, I don't know, are there colleges where you would major in cartooning? I'm sure that there are art schools or there are places that you can study to hone the craft of being a cartoonist that don't require an expensive 4-year degree. So I would look around, and of course, are you sure that cartoonist is the vocation that you want to pursue? I mean, maybe you might want to have more options available to you. Sometimes colleges can open up certain doors and they can expose you to other potential vocations or areas of interest that you might not have known about. But overall, I think most colleges are overpriced and most degrees are unnecessary for the jobs that people end up pursuing. Yes, it does make it easier for you to get an interview, especially if they're screening for college grads, but they use it as a screening mechanism only. It rarely bears very little meaning to ultimate job performance or whether or not somebody is capable of the job. So whether or not you decide to go, it might depend on the university or the college that you would like to go to, what it's going to cost you, how much time it's going to require. Because remember, the time that you spend in college is time that you can't spend learning or pursuing cartooning. And if you just go right into that field and you're good at it and you have a talent for it, you might not need college at all. It might be a waste of your time, it might be a waste of your money, but you've got to look into it and you've got to decide for yourself. But don't let the pressures of society or family force you to go to college because you think that's something that you have to do, that if you don't do it your life is ruined. That is not the case. In fact, some people ruin their lives by taking on too much debt to go to college, and then they study something that has very little viability, and they've wasted their time, they've wasted their money. They'd have been much better off had they just skipped college and done something else.